copy that. We could definitely hear you on the open speaker. We're going to start off with Q Post 1443 from January 10th, 2018. This is at 22:53 Eastern Standard Time. Starting at the top, we have our common, we've seen this one before, which is Fly, Killbox, RR, Fly. So he's put plenty of people in there. We've seen Fly Eagles Fly, we've seen Rothschilds Fly, but now we got Rod Rosenstein in the kill box. Our interpretation of why is failure per White House instructions and agreement. That they worked out a plan of how they were going to go ahead and release the IG report, and he's not basically listening to it. So at this point, POTUS has already declassified the public document with the pen pick from number 3. That's the executive order that's already been dated and it's official. Why are they doing this? The IG redactions, Killbox Heavy Plus, Killbox Remove. So they are heavily redacting and removing stuff from the actual IG report. The most important thing that's been doing is about Hussein with the White House on the call with the tarmac, at the tarmac with Bill Clinton and Loretta Lynch. And then we have Rod Rosenstein probably in on and knows exactly what happened. Then we have James Comey. And then we got number 2. Who was for the FBI on number 2, guys?
Rod Rosenstein.
No, he's DOJ.
I thought it was McCabe.
Yeah,
That's what I was going to
McCabe.
say. Is it Rosenstein or McCabe?
It's got to be McCabe because Rosenstein's in the kill box, so he's going to be off the list. Then we have Loretta Lynch, Bill Pinstrap, Peter Strzok, and Loretta LP. I'm having a brain fart, guys. Lisa Page. And why on the 302s? They were being edited. The text messages between the two FBI agents that were texting between each other. We also had the tarmac meeting, FBI, DOJ, operatives inserted. And I believe that they're talking about Carter Page that was put into spy. And we also have the other gentleman that was put in there, the professor, I believe. We had UK and Killbox with Signals Intelligence Service. Dark to light. Shall we play a game? And here's where I want to focus on really trying to figure out what these guys are talking about is you have a choice. Do what is right. FBI agents willing to testify, plus 24. Need DOJ, offer open, Killbox number 2. Next, CIA, offer open, Killbox 3. Good versus evil, Q. So I think the Q boxes are referring to particular people in the DOJ or the CIA. I'd like to hear your guys' thoughts on this.
McCabe was the one that changed the 302s to that they gave to the Pfizer court.
Hey, I got an analogy right now on this pen. See that picture with Pompeo and the pen at 12 o'clock?
Yes,
Time
I did
is
see that.
10:55. So right now it's 11:20. Let's see if something happens if Q drops at 12 o'clock.
Oh, you're thinking tonight.
Right.
Interesting. I like your thinking.
Wouldn't that be interesting, huh?
So you're thinking number 2 for DOJ and a number 3 person for CIA. And I'm thinking possibly 2 people for DOJ and possibly 3 people for CIA that are either willing to come forward or willing to make deals.
Yeah, I'm with you, Sassy. Until you said making deals. I'm saying that I'm thinking there's 2 people and 3 people like you do, but in the kill box that are bad.
Because it says willing to testify next DOJ offer open. So just trying to put those two together, but I love it.
Well, and you have Clapper and you have Brennan.
But it could be people wanting to make deals. I mean, it's very possible that's the way it reads.
So the two people underneath Brennan at CIA were Avril Haines and David Cohen. They were the deputy directors. Avril looks like she came over from NSA as deputy NSA, first female deputy NSA. She came over following Brennan. So I would imagine she's dirty. David Cohen looks like he was former Treasury and came over. One of these two might be able to come forward. I'm not sure what their status is right now.
Oh, whether if they're still with the government or not?
Yeah, I'll dig on it real quick.
Well, I think the kill box means they're bad and willing to talk to get a deal. And then the other 24 FBI, those are good guys willing to testify.
I agree with that.
Right. They have 24 on deck ready to spill it.
Added earlier because there wasn't the right whistleblower protections in place in Congress, and they were afraid to come forward because other FBI agents have been crucified. So they're really hoping to be subpoenaed to have some sort of protection.
Now, on the UK with the SIS and Killbox and Dark to Light, shall we play a game? I'm wondering if that isn't in regards to Strzok and Page back in 2015 when they were over there and trying to make deals with the SIS over there back then. I'm wondering if that's not what that is linking to possibly.
Within the past hour, information just dropped about a former CIA willing to come forward and testify.
Where'd you see that report out of?
American Conservative, they're saying that this guy should be one of the top guys that should be pardoned by Trump. He's a whistleblower. Just posted an hour ago.
That's pretty huge. I wonder if we get to hear more info on that.
John Kirkaru?
What is the, it says UK and then SIS and Killbox. What's the SIS?
Signals Intelligence Service, the three-letter agency in the UK.
That's MI6.
Right.
So here's the information pertinent about that article. When he appointed John Brennan, this guy was a nemesis of Kirakow's, who was as deputy national security advisor, then CIA director. Brennan ordered Kirakow's case reopened and basically and directed Robert Mueller to form a John Kirakow task force. So there was no new evidence unearthed, and Obama's Justice Department charged Kirikow anyway with 5 felonies for conduct as he came forward about the torture misconduct that was underwent by the CIA.
That's an interesting article. What's the actual date on that?
It just came out an hour ago.
Yeah, and it also says that George Bush investigated and found nothing to charge him with.
Wow, that's pretty huge.
Heard a lot of big things happen this week so far already. It's only Monday.
My brain is starting to hurt, but it's still ready for more. All right, so we pretty good with that post, or we need to throw some more in there?
No, I think we're good to go with that.
Yeah, I think we're good with that one. I think a couple latter ones he dropped will link when it starts talking about Strzok and Page to the UK and SIS. When they drop, I'll show you what I'm talking about.
Does anybody want to drop the pictures in for us?
Yeah, I'll try.
Oh, we did skip over the 1441. Should we do that one real quick before we go to the next one, which is at 43?
Let me talk about Avril Haines a little bit here a second.
Roger that.
So she was deputy CIA underneath Brennan. She then became the deputy NSA until the 20th of when Trump took over. And interestingly enough, it looks like based on her career, she had some things to do with the investigation into hacking and responding to the hacking. During the Democratic National Committee email leak during the 2016 presidential campaign, Haines, as Deputy National Security Advisor, convened a series of meetings to discuss ways to respond to the hacking and leaks. Haines was CIA's first female deputy director, while Gina Haspel was the first female career intelligence officer to be named deputy director. So looks like she's got some ties into Obama's administration and their decision as to how to handle the Russian hacking allegations and what to do with the leaks. So follow that conclusion. They didn't notify Trump. They didn't tell Trump or his campaign that there was concerns. So she's right in the middle of this stuff. Her name hasn't appeared anywhere.
No, I haven't heard anything about her, and that's pretty interesting that she hasn't been brought to light.
She has now.
Looks like Cohen succeeded her as deputy director of CIA after her tenure ended in 2015. So let me see what Mr. Cohen did. So interesting. Mr. Cohen was at Treasury, while at Treasury under Obama, was in charge of terrorism and financial intelligence. And he was assigned after the 2001 attacks, this Office of Foreign Asset Control. Basically, he kind of was involved with that. Looks like he had his hands in the money pot that went after terrorist funds, the ability to seize funds and seize assets belonging to named terrorist countries. And he was a non-military pick for this position, which previously had been held by military officers or intelligence community veterans. And prior to joining U.S. Treasury, he was involved with drafting legislation related to the U.S. Patriot Act. And when he left government and joined Wilmer Hale. Interesting.
So he's in there on the U.S. Patriot Act. That's funny.
So this guy, I'd say both of these people are potentially dirty or got dirt.
They have to. They either got to be dirty or they got leverage on top of these people. And since we haven't seen them out screaming, I'm going to try to lean on that it's actually leverage versus they're actually bad and in control, because then they normally be screaming and we'd hear them in the news cycle.
So for looking at DNI Clapper and Brennan and their involvement in any kind of cover up, their involvement in any kind of illegal acts at which Flynn might also be aware of, these two might have corroborating evidence or testimony.
And there's that Wilmer, Cutland, Pickering, and Helen Dora again.
That's a law office, right?
Okay, so in involving the next CIA in the kill brackets, was it 3 or 2?
First number 2, next one was 3.
So I'd say these are probably 2 of your 3.
Damn, Murdoch, you rock, brother.
All right, what's next?
Get that picture.
Is it just that one picture? And is the New Yorker the one you dropped at Minimark 28 is the next post?
Roger that.
Did we get the one right before that? Because I noticed I've missed the number right before the one we just read.
No, we didn't. You want that one? I'll put that one up there.
Yeah, let's throw that one in. We'll do that one really quick, and then we can go right back to yours. Yeah, so A2K's put it here. I believe that's the one we're looking for on June 10th, 2018, minute mark 2309. It is a picture of the skyline, which we are assuming is what, and its name of the picture is specx.png.
So there you got in the background, you got that Mandolin Bay or whatever it is, Mandarin something hotel, the Skyboat Lounge on top. In the foreground, I'm not sure what the building is.
And there was a post, I believe, right after this with the text. Okay, so yeah. So there's the other picture. I think it's more of the atrium area that's covered. And A2K, is that the one right before the one we just read?
No, that's the one right after.
I put the one right before. It's
Oh, that's on top of the Skyboat.
Oh, all right. So New Yorker, yours at the 1 to 28 is the one that's next.
yeah, 1135 is the one before, and correct. 2K's got the one that's next.
Okay, gonna go read his at minute mark 36. Starts out on June 10th, 2018, 23:16 Eastern Standard Time. Starts off with track all suicides. Example 1, think Spade. Trace to Clinton Foundations, New York. Trace to import, export. Trace from China, Mexico to Long Beach. Trace sales spinoff of company. Trace to Clinton Foundation. Trace to port security clearance profile level 5. Who granted? Hussein /HRC. Expect a lot more.
So did you guys dig on this already?
Not too much, but I do remember they were selling some of the ports off in Long Beach and San Diego to different outside sources from the United States.
Hassan Assad, that spy, Wassim Bashir spy, was in on that.
So the big part is think for the suicides, think Spade. So that's David Spade's sister-in-law. She was ended up being tied to the Clinton Foundation on 2 different councils or whatever they use her for in the Haiti operation itself. So she was listed on 2 different councils or whatever. But I haven't dug into it any much farther than that.
So Chaos posted an image there that shows 2017 August Ames, Chester Bennington, Chris Cornell, Dan Johnson, Kim Jong-un, Michael Mantenuto, Carl Sargent, 2018, Tim Bergling, aka Avicii, Stephanie Adams, Kate Spade, Vern Troyer, Anthony Bourdain, Mark Salling, Jackson Odell, and Alan O'Neill.
Because you put in there the Chester Bennington and the Chris Cornell are there on those lists, but wasn't there another kind of a sex trafficking activist that was working with those 2 artists that died also?
There's a lot of people killed as well that were investigating these people, too.
And it's my belief that Bennington and Cornell were the good guys. They have stuff, or they had stuff on people.
100%.
Yeah, and there was supposed to be somebody they were working with. I can't remember the guy's name. I thought Sassy and Classy might know.
Oh, okay. Like a producer or something?
No, he was an activist and was trying to get out the word for a long time, and he ended up being killed. And I think it was right around the same time as those 2 people.
Yeah.
What about the guy in the health department or the disease department that got whacked?
Oh, yeah, the CDC guy in Florida.
Right. He was a drowning, but you don't know how to swim?
Yeah, right. There's so many. That list should be a lot longer than it is.
Right. I dropped a list from last week with some that aren't listed with the John Benet Ramsey, the psychologist. He started out the week, and then Ben Karpinski, the and wife, the builder to the stars. There's a couple of overlays, but that was the list from last week.
Yeah, Avicii was about to talk to. Yeah.
Yeah, because he had a pretty strong video about the whole movement, and it was a lot about child trafficking. And at the very end of the video, it shows him putting some people in the back of a trunk, and I thought it was a very well produced video, so you should check it out.
And then Saturday, there was those two people. They haven't released much information at all, but two people over their Manhattan sky rises that jumped to their deaths, and no names still have not been released on those either. So there's been a lot more, but names have not been released.
So here's one of the charities that Kate Spade was involved in. That's connected to New York. New York Center for Children.
What does he mean by trace from China backslash MX to Long Beach?
So a lot of these fashion designers, they employ slave labor, we'll just call it children labor, that are done in other countries to make their products cheaper. So if she's got her products being manufactured in China or in Haiti or in elsewhere, then imported into the United States through Mexico or other places, that's a very real possibility. That's where I'm trying to dig in right now.
I'm thinking of a different port because George Webb did some research on the web on the ports in I think in the East Coast, and supposedly the guy, the Pakistani spy for those Assad, I think it's Assad is his name. He was selling cars and exporting cars out. I mean, he had a car dealership as well, and it was very suspicious because the cars that were going back out were not like nothing that great. So you'd want to, so obviously something else is going out, and they're using diplomatic passes for the transporting of these vehicles.
Are you talking about Imran Awan?
Yeah, that guy.
Okay, I haven't heard anything about that. I know that the Port of Canaveral is linked to a guy that is deep ties to the Clinton Foundation, and the Port of Canaveral is ultimately owned now by a company that's tied to, or basically subsidiary of the Crescent Group, which is Muslim Brotherhood. I haven't done any research on Long Beach Port, but TN Wirehead is saying that it's a long time known for trafficking hub, human trafficking.
And I thought San Diego was a big hub too, because it's right next to the border. Did you hear that, TN Wirehead?
Big Ten, you got your ears on. Well, needless to say, I mean that last Q post, Hillary Clinton Foundation, it's all over it.
Yeah, here's your confirmation. Kate Spade, made in China.
Ding, ding, ding.
Oh, did we find out about the Long Beach port when we were looking at the four that involved in that chopper crash? I think Q mentioned it, or one of the A9s mentioned it. Said it was a trafficking hub.
I don't remember it being directly tied to a Q post in Long Beach.
You remember around when the Moab hit Epstein Island, and then they started talking about Long Beach, the Long Beach port?
I'm really drawing a blank there.
Me too. Post 1445. Can somebody post that if you're quick on it?
Yeah, that's the one we just posted or just read it.
Yeah, we got
Oh,
for
okay.
46.
Whoa.
I'll go see if I can find it.
Yeah, I think Doc's digging on it too. So
I got 45, 46, 47, 48 all together because they're kind of small.
Yeah, Pro 48 just put up 49. And yeah, all of them.
Which one do you want?
They're already up. Thanks, so.
you want me to read that out, Doc?
No, I'm just posting information that confirms her handbag's definitely made in China and exported to the U.S. Actually, it's some of it's made in China and some of it's then outsourced from China to Vietnam. I still want to find a link to her use of Haiti, potential children or just operations in Haiti.
Yeah, you're gonna find out on the Clinton Foundation side. You'll see her listed as one of the members.
There
Oh,
it is.
TN. I listed the same post that referenced Long Beach at the same time you did. Sorry to
Wow.
interrupt.
Both at the exact same time. That was awesome. Mac is naming names, big names in H. Wood, government, local, federal. Proof. The Standard Hotel, helicopter crash, all related. Future will prove past. AS, feeling okay today. Why is the MX border Long Beach port so important? TikTok, LLC, Q.
Yeah, he was calling out Adam Schiff right there for AS there, Hemi.
Yep. Yeah, I know. I wasn't going to speculate, but yeah, I that's got to be Schiff.
And that was the work we did on that company, Talk LLC.
What did they end up doing with Talk LLC?
That's what I can't remember. I'm digging up on it again. Hold on.
So a little sauce on the post that we got up right now about the Standard Hotel. That's the one that was over in Hollywood that a lot of the elites went to. We have Obama going there. We have Jay-Z spending a lot of time over there. So the helicopter crash they're referring to was the one in Newport. So they're all related to the Standard Hotel because you had a manager and a CEO, chief financial officer in the helicopter that went down, and me and T and Wirehead had spent a little time on that helicopter crash, didn't we?
Yeah, I believe the pilot and there was a manager from Florida Standard Hotel. They were both from Florida, and then the female that was mentioned in the post was from the Standard Hotel and was the financial manager in the Standard Hotel in California.
That's right. It tied us back to Florida and California.
But we also found out later on there was one other person, which they would not release the name, and we speculated, it was speculation, that it was a minor, possibly a minor.
Yeah, and we're feeling it was more of an escape. They took it down. The FBI did for Adam Schiff because Adam Schiff delayed the FISA memo release by changing a couple of letters in the post itself, and that delayed that memo release.
The thing about that chopper flight, it was scheduled to go to Catalina Island, which is just straight south of Long Beach Port. And if I'm not mistaken, Catalina Island is it Mexico or the United States? Because there's an issue out in there where some of those islands, there's a gray area.
At least Catalina is part of the U.S.
I thought it was divided.
There is TikTok LLC, manufactures behavior and adherence tools for the children's healthcare market. Maybe.
I remember watching that video about toilet time.
Yep, I remember that now.
So we just got to find the connection to the Haiti Clinton Foundation, right?
They also said they trace sale spin off to Colorado, right? CO. Oh, you're off that post. Sorry.
I'm going to try to stop going down rabbit trails.
Should we go kick on to the next post?
Yeah, one second, holster. The one that you read before, I just posted, it says trace sale / spin off. That's company, because it's not Colorado, right?
Yeah, that's going to be company. So that's them trace the sale, the spinoff of the company to follow how the money went, probably.
Hulk, I just put up a link. This took place in 2014. The headlines to it is agents for human smuggling event near Catalina Island, U.S. Customs. San Clemente, California, U.S. Customs. U.S. Border Patrol agent took custody of 17 Mexican nationals last Friday west of Santa Catalina Island. But yeah, it's a known hub for human trafficking.
Interesting. Yes, I do remember hearing something about that, but they didn't make it to the mainland.
Well, they it's I believe the government of Catalina Island or the higher ups are aware of what's going on, but it's not investigated or questioned what goes on those islands. But it's also a good staging point. I mean, if you wanted to ship them out in a port.
You know who lives there? In Catalina Island, the wrestler that was the governor of Minnesota. What's his name? Yeah, thank you. Yeah, Jesse Ventura. He lives over there in that Catalina Islands.
Sorry, I didn't mean to pull you off, but y'all were researching. Go ahead.
Hoaxer, you want to go read the next one?
Yeah, give me a minute, Mark. I'll go read it. Unless anybody wants to add anything to that last rabbit hole.
So I just posted an article about Kate Spade's the sale of the company to Coach for $2.4 billion. And evidently she won't see a penny of it.
Bada boom, baby.
Is there a particular reason why she won't see it or her family won't see it? Is she in trouble for something in some sort of court case?
Evidently they cashed out of the business over a decade ago. I'm trying to dig into it right now and read the article. Okay, so this is why he said trace it. So in 1999, they sold their 56% stake to Neiman Marcus for 34. Then in 2006, she and her two partners sold the remaining 44% to Neiman Marcus for 59 million, and they split the shares with their partners. They walked away with 46 million before taxes. And then Neiman Marcus inked a deal to offload the entire Kate Spade company to fashion retailer Liz Claiborne for 124 million. And they rebranded the company in 2012. Looks like she tried to start up another business venture. With somebody named Frances Valentine. She launched it in 2016. I wonder who Frances Valentine is. So here's the article about her launching Frances Valentine with partners Elise Aarons and Paulo Venturi. Those are the two maybe that need to be looked at.
Roger, I'll go look at Paulo Venturi.
So this is interesting. Take a look at this. She also went by the name of Kate Valentine.
Frances Valentine.
Exactly. Yeah.
In that article, it talks about where she got the name Frances and Valentine from. I think one was the name of her father or something, and I can't remember the Valentine.
Oh, look at that. The cause of death, suicide by hanging.
Yeah.
Seems like the way to go nowadays.
All the great people are doing it. On a doorknob.
Yeah. That you can just sit down and untie.
But it has to be a red scarf on the doorknob.
Yeah.
So there's Elise Aarons, University of Kansas.
It shows down there at the bottom, spouse, Andy Spade.
Yeah, the David Spade connection I don't think is real.
The Q post leads to one of these Breitbart articles, but that's a little further up when you get there. That I just put it up there.
Thanks, Wiley. Sassy, what is that new news about the arrests and scheme?
Mic check.
Check.
Yeah, sorry guys. I was trying to grab the headline of the article for y'all. Yeah, it happened today. I was just looking into it. I want to drop it before I clicked on something else to read. So, 74 people were arrested today through the U.S. Justice Department. Related financial fraud schemes targeting businesses and individuals, often senior citizens. Looks like 42 people were arrested in the United States and 29 others were detained in Nigeria, where the Justice Department, many so-called businesses' email compromise scams originated. 3 other arrests were made in Canada, Mauritius, and Poland. So I just want to drop that in here for y'all.
Wow, that's great. Great news. Thanks for that.
Looks like the founders page for Francis Valentine is not found.
Imagine that.
Morning.
Hey, Delta Dave.
How are we all?
Doing a little live streaming here. If you don't know, we are currently hosting a little over 200 people live on YouTube. So say hi, Delta Dave.
Hi, Delta Dave.
We're currently digging on a Q post here and going through some connections on the Spade family. And then they just had a article pop up that the U.S. Justice Department has announced Monday arresting 74 people in the United States and overseas for cyber-related crimes.
Right. I've noticed overnight there's been quite a lot of Q posts, so I took a read of them earlier, but they've not settled in my mind yet.
We've only made it to the second one. We've gone down a pretty deep hole.
Deep holes are good. A lot of information will come out of them.
We need to pull our doc back. Like, he needs to breathe again.
Breathe. I've been breathing that fresh air in Alaska for 4 weeks now. Came back to Houston and boom, humidity.
So you're on the second of tonight's post then?
Correct.
I'll just go and reread it.
Yes, please read it out loud.
Do you want me to read the next post in succession?
I've got to find it first.
All right, Doc, I can go ahead and start reading the rest of the post so we can kind of keep the video about under an hour.
Yeah, keep going. Yeah.
Okay, roger that. Anybody want to pull the next one up for me?
What number you up to?
There's a prompt listed a bunch at 1049.
Going right now. Okay, starting here at the top, I don't have the pictures. We've already gone through them. From June 11th, 2018, we are 10:26:18 Eastern Standard Time. This is AM, so we started having a couple of pictures of Kim 1 and Kim 2. And then we have number 72. Where was Kim tonight? How was this known? You were watching a plan being set in motion. Enjoy the show. Q. And I think that's when he went out on the town for the night and he was having a good time. Was that correct?
Yeah, he was taking pictures of them left and right.
Was out enjoying the nightlife.
Seemed like a very happy guy that he just basically looks like he won the lotto.
Seems
But
like
I was just going to say, it just seems like you're going to say, seems like once you get the deep state at applied leverage off your back, you seem a lot more happier.
it seems like you got when you release a lot of tension, you know, and he just like let loose.
So one of the things that I think I remember seeing yesterday or earlier today was that somebody said, called out Q as he protecting POTUS, and he said not POTUS. As he maybe got some connection to protecting Kim.
That's what we haven't got to that one yet, because the next one in the line, we can't talk about that,
That's the Blackwater one.
which still hasn't come up yet, right? We didn't get to that one.
Those were previous, correct?
Yeah, that was the previous day, I think.
Right. Those were last night, late last night, Hulk.
All right,
Those are
well,
previous to the ones we're going over. But yes, our doc, it's alluding not to POTUS, so alluding to possibly Kim.
We did say we would guarantee his security.
Right.
So we basically protecting Kim, and Q thanked him for they asked him, were you protecting Blackwater protecting the president? No, we're protecting Kim, which is amazing. I mean, like, he trusts us for his protection.
But he also said Eric at the end of that sentence, and Q did not deny that he was Eric.
Right, he has a new company too, right? It's not Blackwater no more.
It's called Academy now with an I. It was Z.
Those pictures are beautiful. So now, is Q taking these pictures?
He talks about that too. He says he can access pictures that are not even his own.
That's awesome, man. They're beautiful pictures too. Great quality.
Some of the pictures were ones people deleted, according to Q.
yeah,
Or
that's in a
so they
couple
thought
of
they
posts.
deleted.
So should I go ahead and read this next one off so we can get to the ones you're talking about? So the next one that comes up, which was June 10th, 2018, 23:27 Eastern Standard Time, starts off with FF Weather Alert worldwide. So we basically changed that to Flash Flood Weather Alert worldwide. Stay vigilant and maintain situational awareness.
Situation.
Thank you. I totally butterballed that one.
Could it not be false flag weather alert worldwide?
Well, if we-
The Keenest was getting bombarded by rains. He was saying, yeah, it's definitely flash floods. Look here. And he would hear it like,
Yeah, it could be associated with Bring the Rain, maybe talking about some memes, Twitter deals. That was my other interpretation.
Maintain situational awareness.
So it seems like just to keep pushing the message out, we know where we're supposed to go and don't listen to what the mainstream tells us.
So are you going after these in reverse order?
yeah, he did that. He put a little street up. That's okay, Hulkster. Go to the right.
Oh God, you're right. So all right, so I'll go back.
Every single picture posted is original, pulled, /white, or taken. Think about what that means. Q.
That's when we were thinking they were actually pulling the photos from the Cabal team that were planning their particular side of their operations, whether it was the pictures of the laptops and cell phones and airplanes that were shipping product around, or what they're talking about right here, the photos that they have actually pulled out. They're pointing it all. There are no coincidences.
So basically, they have it all, and they're screwed.
Just waiting for him to expose himself.
So was there any emergency alert messages, weather messages that went out either in the U.S. or in the Philippines?
Mexico has one for major flooding and landslides. That was just done earlier today.
There was supposed to be a storm, I think, in Texas as well that supposed to hit.
Yeah, there's a disturbance coming up in the Gulf in a few days, and then Dutch was talking about that low level pressure over the eastern U.S.
Yeah, and he was mentioning that was a very long and unusual storm. It wasn't all that powerful in any particular spots above normal, but that the whole line of succession was very long, and it was heading out to the Atlantic and should be impacting Europe.
So before you leave again, our doc, bat down the hatches because something's coming up in the Gulf.
Yeah, you came back just in time.
I'm heading to Mexico tomorrow.
You're just going to drive over?
Flying. I just posted NOAA's Weather Service alert map for all weather alerts and conditions in the U.S.
I thought it was coming from Louisiana, the storm, or from the Gulf somewhere. So it depends where you're flying, you know.
But he also mentioned that we can't see it on the radar, and I could not find it on the radar either.
Yeah, he did say that it was off the coast already. Big part of it.
And I didn't understand it when he said it, and I still don't understand why.
Maybe these storms that they control, or it's not an exact science, you know. It might not always work exactly as planned, you know, because different temperatures of air or water or whatnot. But obviously, the HAARP weapon is a very sophisticated instrument to control weather. Because I noticed most of these problems are very unusual. It's not like it doesn't rain, but when we got lightning here, it was like very unusual. It's like unusual amount of lightning, like not just like your typical lightning.
But what's going to happen when the one hits Mexico, and then the one moves up into the Gulf, and then the one in the Gulf feeds off the frontal systems from the one that moved into Mexico.
This is the river rain gauge flood stage mapping. All the yellows or above, yellows, oranges, reds, are rivers that are at or already at flood conditions.
So I just want to, I just dropped a picture of live current radar. And if you look at it, there's a little disturbance off of Cuba, but nothing significant. So there's nothing showing on the radar for the Gulf area whatsoever. That's interesting.
Cuba, huh? Never thought about that.
A lot of times these disturbances that come into the Gulf, they go over, you know, the Cuba area, then into the Gulf, but that doesn't even look significant enough to, you know, amount to much of anything. So, you know, basically there's nothing there if you look at it.
Well, that nothing there dumped a bunch of hailstones and several inches of rain out here in East Podunk, Georgia.
That goes to show that it's a HARP weapon. If there's nothing there, and the next thing you know, there's a freaking storm, where the hell did it come from?
Yeah, and thunder boomers that are worse than living downstairs of a bowling alley.
Okay, moving on.
But then we get some nice pictures.
Are we up current on all the Q posts, guys?
I think we're up to this one I just put up. You want to read it?
I'd like to hear your voice for once.
You asked for it, you got it. Okay, well, here we go. Does Kim look nervous prior to the big meeting with Pontus? Did they already meet long ago? Hell yeah. Is he preparing at his hotel with his advices ahead of time? Or is he enjoying freedom he never had in the past? He looked like he was smiling like no tomorrow, man. Deal done? Hell yeah. Safe? On guard? Damn right. POTUS moves up departure. Why? Because it's a done deal, man. It's sealed. The world is safe for Iran developments. Iran next. No, that's just old post. Q.
Yeah, I think he was leaving earlier because of the Iran issue, right?
I think so. We're leading up to that.
We're definitely leading up to that. That's for damn sure.
Look, more Mayflowers.
I don't know, but I get a good feeling about this because I could tell people by the way they look sometimes. I have a good feel for that, and I think he genuinely is happy to have peace, man, and just this could really be a done deal, man.
Yeah, his chains are broken. He's free.
I think so. I think he's happy. Like the burden is off. I don't have to worry about getting nuked or bombing nobody. Just enjoying life. I mean, come on, man. Really, he was going nowhere.
Did we have any update on what the Iran developments that would need him to leave early for? Because it sounds like it's something that's pre-planned.
That's a great question. I think there is something in the works. Where's Pompeo? He's over there still, right?
Yeah, Pompeo's over there, and Mattis is back at home.
He's in working lunch with them now.
There was a meeting that took place 3 weeks ago between China and Russia and Iran. Well, China, Russia, and Iran. It took place, I think, 3 weeks ago.
Well, I tell you what, the world is safer. That's definitely true. And I mean, it's the deal done. Damn right, it was done. It was done before because you could tell when when they were shaking hands when they first met. I mean, it wasn't when they first met. They shaking hands. You could tell that they met before, and you could tell that there was no pressure on Kim. Like he looked like a burden was lifted off his shoulder because there was no pressure on him. So you could tell the deal was already done.
This deal probably saves his life.
A while back, we had a discussion about whether they met at the border in Korea or there in the Forbidden City. I seen a video today or yesterday. It's pretty defendable. But they did meet it confirmed they did meet at the border back in November.
Don't forget, Kim is also being recognised as a major player, a leader, and it's something he hasn't been recognised for in public before. He's become one of them.
Yeah, he's a big shot now, right? He's important. Like he's not just Rocket Man. No, he's like distinguished, and he's shaking hands with Trump. I mean, I think that's huge what you just pointed out because I noticed that too. Like he seems like could be his moment of fame, to get peace, in the area, and it might really work. I mean, I'm really positive about this.
Which means if it does work out, that he'll be able to go around the world doing this sort of thing all the time.
Yeah, and tell the other world leaders they're kind of stuck in the same spot, that it's possible there is a way out.
Just think about it. If we turned around this nut, I mean, we could turn around anybody. You know what I mean?
And also, he himself has probably also been oppressed in a way.
That's what I was thinking. His life was probably in danger if he didn't act a certain way, and he probably did not want to live the life he was living. And POTUS gave him a way out, and he's taken it. That's what it appears. That's how I'm reading the situation. I don't have any sauce for that.
I think I agree with that.
Yeah, I could see that.
One thing about all the Koreans' lives that are changing as well, not just Kim's, but the whole country.
Well, that would be great. I mean, obviously, life there certainly has to be horrendous, and I'm still. I'd love to know what it's going to be like when, if any truth starts to trickle in there. I mean, they can't just be shocked with the truth day one, right? Obviously, even people in our country can't handle the truth. I'm saying how different reality is from what they think it is.
You mean the people in North Korea?
Oh, yes.
I was watching a documentary. They talk about how the people defected and they come to the United States or to an Americanized area that they're able to introduce to the different cultures. And the researchers found it extremely important that how well these people absorbed the information and became a normal person understanding what was going on with them, but they also realized that they turned to be lazy if they were left alone and they just wanted to watch TV the whole time.
Well, unless you develop certain discipline, it's very easy to fall into that trap, whoever you are, wherever you come from.
Guess what I found? So our wonderful Kate Spade, her Kate Spade and Company Foundation is involved very closely with a company called rescue.org. They do international rescues and resettlements. And look who sits on the board, Mr. Timothy Geithner.
Our old Fed friend from Goldman Sachs.
He was in the New York Fed. He ran the New York Fed, and he looked like he was 12 years old.
John Mack. Is that any relation to Mack?
You mean Allison Mack?
Wasn't John Mack a banking or finance guy?
There's the link to that International Rescue Committee. There's a bunch of people sitting on that board or advisory or key management.
Oh, but those names will sound like cabal names to me. I don't know if Adam Winston Lord. He sounds like a king.
Yeah, John J. Mack. It says he's chair emeritus at Morgan Stanley.
Wow, this place looks like a who's who of banking.
Like Rosenstein. I mean, like Rosenberg. The Rothschilds. God, man, I was blanked. The Rothschilds friends.
Tom Brokaw.
Queen of Jordan.
Obramovitz. Not the other one. Madeleine Albright. Kofi Annan.
Why is Madeleine Albright so familiar?
She was a former Secretary of State.
There you go.
You see, with all these names, it starts to become.
Jennifer and Tom Brokaw.
With all these names, it starts to become questionable what their association with this is, unless every single one of them can be traced back.
Yeah, it's work.
Yeah, it's working. Hemi's trying to get us to pay attention that Trump is signing something right now. Do we have it live?
No, they're not showing it live, but they're showing Trump and Kim just kind of walking around, which is prior to them. They went to go sign something.
That guy's got to hold that cameraman and say, "Get the hell out of here."
Colin Powell and Condoleezza Rice also.
It's historic.
He brought him over and showed him the car. They opened up the beast and showed.
Look at those tires, man. It's like freaking a truck.
And that is not being streamed?
Doesn't appear to be.
Fox is airing it.
I have a feeling stocks tomorrow are going to skyrocket.
This is Trump train, choo choo.
I'm definitely going to be watching the stock market in the morning.
And buy some stock now. Where are the futures?
If I had the extra cash, I definitely would.
So let's. This is interesting. Back on the IRC, because it relates to one of the things Sessions just did. Was it today or yesterday? He restricted the definition of asylum seekers. So this affects organizations like this IRC that is very involved in resettlement of all of these Syrian and other Muslim refugees.
Ardoc, when you see the list of people that are involved with this, do you say, oh, they all must be in on whatever we're being pointed to? Or is it, this is the kind of thing where they keep getting more and more people to put their names down. Half the time they agree to be involved in something, they don't even know what it is. Oh yeah, it's a charity. Oh, such and such is involved. Okay, I'll put my name on it too. You know, how many people, Doc, do you think are actually in on it, or do you think they're all in on it?
So whoever has a foundation is in on a scheme to be able to funnel and flow money into different causes. One of the causes is to accomplish an agenda, the agenda being moving some people around the world and causing destabilization and chaos. So the other action is that with the money slushing in, be back and forth between these NGOs and these charities, you kind of lose track. And so you can move money to certain people and as a way of repaying. It goes under the radar, so to speak.
Right. No, that's true. Certainly, most foundations. I can't say most, but many foundations are definitely just means for avoiding taxes and moving money around. There's no doubt about that, and doing all sorts of shenanigans. But do you think every single person that's on that list of names is involved or knows that they might be related to child trafficking or anything like that?
Don't know, but I would imagine if anybody's got a foundation linked into these groups, that they are being solicited for donations. It's who's using the money and how it's being used that has to come under scrutiny.
Right. No, so I agree with that. But you know, sometimes we look at these names and we just assume that they're wealthy and they're involved with the foundation, and that makes them guilty. I'm sure many of them would be shocked if they found out what was really going on, unless I'm just being naive.
Could be. I mean, here's the thing. There are some that are involved that are bad. There are some that are involved that are taking this money and using it for purposes that are nefarious. There are some that are not. There are some that are thinking this is a wonderful, good cause. There are those that are tools and those that are resources to the tools, and the tools are controlled by certain people or individuals or organizations. So the issue is, when you talk about resettlement of refugees and the vetting process, you have lots of people who have no papers, no documentation. You have women and children that have no parents, no source of support. They are prime suspect, or they are prime targets for trafficking.
Never mind, you take 97 percent of the donations for management, and you only donate 5 towards. I mean, 95. Take 95, and you spend 5 on the cause that you get all the money from. That's not exactly fair, you know.
I feel that they shouldn't have a charitable status unless 80% of the money goes to the actual cause.
So let's say that you do have 80% going to bringing women, children, orphans over from countries where there's been war, because that's the plan, is go in there, destabilize the area, create a war-like environment so where people have to leave. You now have access to these people, and you could move them around the world. You move them into certain places, and I don't want to say dump them, because the governments and the localities have to then take over the care of these people. And these people now do not know the environment. They are able to be taken advantage of, all the scammers. And then now you talk about the sex trafficking. And these people are targets. That's the best way I'll say it. They're easy targets now. It's the same thing that they did with Haiti. It's the same thing.
it's not just charities, by the way. It's libraries, presidential libraries. You get Obama learned from the Clintons, and it's just copycat system. You see Clinton's library. He's got a apartment up there, a pool, whatever. It's ridiculous.
I know a lot of places in Europe are having referendums against the settlement process because these immigrants, legal or otherwise, are creating a drain on the finances and resources, and they're bringing the Sharia law issues into focus, and they're creating ghetto-like environments. Okay, that's just part of the nature of life, right? The real issue is there something else nefarious going on? Is there an organization or effort by organizations that are taking advantage of this situation to traffic women and children? So what could Kate Spade have known or know about some of this that would make her a target? And is there a link? Is there a link in any of this, of these foundations or these organizations that she was part in, that now links to China and Mexico and bringing in people or things through those entryways?
What did she have? Like a clothing line?
You know what? What if her handbags are made out of I don't want to think this, but I have to. What if her handbags are made out of children's skin?
I think that would be more expensive than cow or horse, probably if they're cheaping out. Unless it's Cordovan, which I guess is supposed to be made out of horse, but it's not, I don't think. So more expensive.
Well, she sold that line in 2 different sales before 2009, I believe. So she sold out of that line, and she's been basically starting up her own venture since 2016 under the Frances Valentine name, and that had shoes and some other things. Now, how is she starting that up? How is she financing it? What else was she involved in? I don't know the answers to that question yet, but think about who would be. She only had 4 principal investors. They had to get the money from somewhere.
I don't think it would be hard for her to raise money to start any sort of fashion-related line. Once she's had success, people would throw money at her.
So if the Kate Spade company was sold and is now owned by Coach, Kate Spade Foundation, does she still got control over that?
I imagine that unless it was connected directly with the company and not with her personally, that she would have had control. But I guess we can look into that quickly, couldn't we?
Okay, she only had if she only had 4 investors, what if underneath she was being backed by the Clintons and doing things for them, i.e. on the side for the cabal, shoes, purses, things like that, and they were funding her privately somehow.
We got to have the sauce. We got to dig. That's just one rabbit hole. The real clue is, following and tracing, like Q said, all the way through. There's got to be a link to China, Mexico.
Does somebody want to read the next Q post?
FYI, it is the Kate Spade and Company Foundation. So I imagine that if it's the same, it might be different than the Kate Spade Foundation. The Kate Spade and Company Foundation is probably controlled by the company, especially since it's part of the katespade.com website.
Good job there. I'm really excited about the IG report and Huber when he comes out. I can't wait.
Okay, there's a little ditty in that IRC about 4 companies that are hiring these refugees that they're resettling: Starbucks, Marriott, TripAdvisor, WeWork, and I think that was only 3. I think they said 4. Maybe they took one out of the video.
All right, people, I'm going to get some sleep. It's nearly 6 a.m.
Good night, my man. Take care.
Thank you.
All right.
Good
night, Delta.
Guys, I was
Good night.
looking into this Florence Davis, who is the head of the Star Foundation, and she was on that list that I forget who put it up a minute ago. So I looked into her, and this Star Foundation comes back with don't send us any unsolicited materials. Turns out their address is in Fayetteville, Arkansas, and there's a list that says similar companies nearby. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 charitable donation companies, foundations, whatever you want to call them, within about 2 miles of this place in Fayetteville, Arkansas.
Oh, wow, that's a good find there.
I don't know if any of y'all have seen Fayetteville, Arkansas, and I don't think they've got 3 Walmarts, much less 10 charitable foundations within 2 miles of each other.
I think we're about to see the end of the Korean War.
Me too.
That would be awesome.
Simply amazing.
And the mainstream media will report soldiers out of work. Because heaven forbid Trump be, found doing something good.
They were criticizing him for standing up to Trudeau, too.
What they'll talk about is all the possible ways this could fail or not work.
Sick of winning yet?
I can safely say I'm not tired of winning so much. I want to win more.
You and me both, brother. We finally got a businessman as a president instead of a career politician, and he's getting it done.
So you have to do it in business. If you don't do it in business, you go under, right? So it's sink or swim. These politicians, they're in there. They got it easy, man. They don't know how easy they got.
That's why these politicians are always in cover your ass mode. They never actually have to produce. They just have to get from election to election.
Yeah, and hand out favors for money. I mean, it's just the oldest game in the book.
Yeah, buying votes with your tax dollars. Nice. I'm always shocked at people that think we don't pay enough taxes.
Yeah, but I was hearing how the people in the UK get taxed, man. God, man, it's like horrible over there compared to us. I mean, and now all the companies are making so much more money. You know that the electric is going to go down because the tax savings the companies are getting.
Yeah, related to the rescuers, apparently, I don't know the story of the rescuers, but apparently it has to do with saving kids, and that's why he was wearing that mask. That was one thing that I read. And seems to coincide with Q's post about what she may have known. I think someone earlier put a post up about the doorknob thing being related to people who speak, and how many people seem to hang themselves from doorknobs, and asking similar questions to the ones I was asking, like how high are these doorknobs and how strong are these scarves that that people are hanging themselves with?
They've been organized.
You mean Arkancided?
Yeah, that works. See, this Q post was next, and they didn't read it, but this is very important. Somebody want to read it? It's one of my favorites.
You can read it, brother.
This Anon goes, hence why Pontus is leaving early than planned. While the media has a field day with the news, the events have already taken place. We are hungry for arrest. And Q replies, IG Huber, you have more than you know. Q. I love that. The next post, right, has a Breitbart article link, uh, which it's a really good article. This judge says that Pick and Huber was a brilliant move by Sessions. It made me smile, I'll tell you.
What's the date of that Breitbart article? Because back in March, end of March, when Sessions advised Congress, who was yelling and screaming for a second special counsel, he says, I've already got Huber in place. Huber has been in place since November 2017.
I just put up the next post there. March 31st, 2018, Doc.
Yep.
That's the same article, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. We've researched that one earlier when we were digging into Huber.
Right.
So basically, the gist of this Q post here that you just put up there, there will be many redactions. Why was the EO put on ice? Remember, the post basically said the EO and his Twitter said the executive order was pulled. Why? So now we know why. It's because we knew that there were going to be redactions and that they're going to make sure that it's released in its full once everything is out.
So basically, Trump's going to declassify everything and they're screwed.
So reread reread the post. Who appointed Huber? Sessions did. Sessions was, Huber was originally appointed by, oh shoot, I can't remember. I think he was pre-Obama. But Sessions, he initially turned in his resignation like all the others when Sessions called for it, but that Sessions then said, no, we need you to stay. So he was left on board, and then he was assigned this stuff, FISA abuse and other things, back in November of 2017. And he has at least two grand juries active that I recall. One related to Clinton Foundation, one related to FISA abuse. And because of the nature of what he's able to accomplish, he can convene special grand juries, which basically means that they can use any existing grand jury and present evidence and seek indictments.
The Clinton investigation, Dr. has to be the Clinton Foundation, right? It's not just Hillary, it's the Clinton Foundation.
So there's the Hillary email investigation that Huber was involved in concluding an IG report on. He was investigating the DOJ and FBI's handling of the email investigation, but he is able to work closely with Huber's group to refer criminal referrals and other matters back to Huber for his research and investigation. Then you also have the Uranium One potential issue that's floating out there still, which is a reason why Utah was picked potentially, because of the mine that's in Moab.
We'll find out. We'll find out, what, 2 days now?
On Trump's birthday.
We don't have.
Looking into the star thing makes me wonder, is this not another clone of the Clintons where the actual Star Foundation was based out of New York, and they cloned it and used fictitious names and supposedly only have 2 people in the office in Arkansas. Yet they've got these same names listed. It makes no sense.
So this Chinese guy or Shanghai guy, he helped, was president of the Star Foundation that's now listed as being headquartered in Fayetteville.
Okay, the Star Foundation, I looked it up because it was listed as being as this Francis woman being or whatever, is being the president. So I look it up and it lists her further down on the board of directors, and it lists this Tosh Chun Shu as the treasurer, but he's now deceased. So I look at his obituary to see if maybe it says how he died. He was 97 years old, and they list him as the president of the Star Foundation and say it works out of New York, which tells me either there's 2 different Star Foundations, and the second one out of Fayetteville, Arkansas is a clone. The Clinton Foundation has been real well known about making up foundation names and never registering them. They're totally illegal. The names match the locations and the people don't.
Hello.
I mean, the one in Arkansas, it supposedly got all these people on their board, but then when you go to the actual site, it tells you they employ 2 people at this location.
Well, they also move around, and when you have, that's why this guy really nailed them, because when you're a nonprofit, you got to do hoops to get your permit to do that, and they move around, like they move from location to location. You can't do that with, like, and forget it. They're done, man.
This looks very much like what Ortel was finding out about the many different faces of the Clinton Foundation. They registered one time under the William J. Clinton Foundation. They never registered any of the other names, and yet all these umpteen different genres that they call it, the William J. or just William J. or the W.J. Clinton or the Clinton Family Foundation or the Clinton Global Initiative, all of those are fictitious entities. They don't exist. They never filed paperwork. Yet they share the same post office boxes and addresses. And all of that is totally illegal.
That's why there was an accountant that they hired, and he freaking ran, because once he looked at the books, he goes, "Shit, I'm not taking a dive for this. This place is like totally corrupt. You can't make it good."
He didn't run, he disappeared. His body ain't been found. Like 10 years ago. This is a money laundering scheme. What kind of foundation puts up on their website, "Don't send us any solicitations"? And why do you need 40-something people on your board if you're only giving away $300,000 a year?
That's what I was speaking to before. It seems like they get people involved just to have their name there, so that they can raise money and they can be a fancy company that people want to be involved with, or fancy not-for-profit or charity, quote unquote, that people can be involved with.
Sounds like a new kind of Ponzi scheme. Let's call it a foundation.
Foundations and not-for-profits have been abused for a long time. There's no doubt about it. People, you know, a lot of wealthy people that, I mean, I don't want to be sexist or anything, but it seems like a lot of, I'm not even going to say what I was going to say, but a lot of wealthy people seem to use them, maybe raise some money, use that money to go around to theoretically try and raise other money, but really just live it up on that money. And it's all not for profit. Oh, and I was trying to raise awareness, bah, 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 bah. It's all nonsense.
Fox News looks like it's about ready to show them signing something.
Sweet. So one of the interesting notes here related to Star Foundation is that Vanderbilt Star, Cornelius Vanderbilt Star, so he's a Vanderbilt, was the one who started AIG, one of the world's largest insurance companies. And he is heavily involved in development of China through their advisory, one of the key advisory council members of China Development Research Foundation.
If you recall, AIG was at the center of the meltdown in 2008.
Yeah, and he started this Star Foundation to use his insurance proceeds for good, according to the website.
I posted a link to their news going back to 2014 of where they've donated or where they've been involved. It's not very extensive.
Yeah, like I said, this Mr. Su, the 97-year-old who died in December of 2015. They still got him listed on the website, but they did put a little note that he is deceased.
As an aside, the old AIG tower on Pine Street in downtown Manhattan is now condos.
That's not the pin, is it?
You got a mannequin at the board meeting with him, and they put him in position there.
Not only that, but the website lists him as treasurer, and the obituary listed him as the president.
Our dog, that's not the pin, is it? It looks different.
I'm trying to take a look at it now to see if it's got any. It doesn't look. It's possible. I got to see if there's crosshatches on it.
That doesn't look like the official White House pen that he's been using.
No, we're talking about his special pin.
It's got a small ring around the between the neck, the cap, and the body of the pen. The base of the pen doesn't look right, and the tip of the pen or the cap doesn't look right. But yeah, I can't tell for certain.
No, that's not the Q pin.
I think, yeah, that what he's been using in the White House is definitely different than what this is. There's no doubt about it.
Yeah, it's not the standard White House signing pen. We're talking about the pen shown in the Q pictures.
It does have his signature on the side of it, but it looks much more like a Sharpie.
Yeah, see, the base of the pen is different here, so no, it's not the same pen.
No, it's not.
Yeah, but the other one you could order Domino's pizza with.
Fox is going to show the signing live, it looks like.
So it looks like they're starting to take pictures of the door that they're waiting for him to walk through now.
This is a moment that'll live in history.
Do we got a Fox live stream?
Yeah, I posted it. Just not too far.
Can anybody play it?
I'll narrate for you. Oh no! I don't. I don't. I don't. I don't. I don't.
That was a classic fail.
A2K or Hemispheres, can y'all cue it up?
Brennan. Can you tell him to turn on the backstage monitor? It's back there.
That looks like a good salad there.
Oh, you mean rabbit food?
Yeah, a little vinaigrette. I'll tear that right up.
Well, at least you know it's not a green screen now.
It's like good food for some tummy.
And with the shades of blue, it's not a blue screen either. Nice one, Pro on 48.
Is Peter okay?
Yeah, I mean, I think they have 3 video cameras, and as I said, we're only allowed one in here. So, you know, Jay is downstairs. If somebody can get Jay, we can put a cuts camera where you guys can get another shot. But
Where's Hannah at? Is it too late? Okay. Okay. Khalil. I guess it's pointless for me to shoot it on my phone. What? Is it pointless for me to shoot it on my phone or something? Just don't worry about it. I got a good line for my live shot though coming up.
Time for a new carpet over there, by the way.
You're gonna have to wait for it.
That carpet's played.
You're gonna love it. You're gonna love it. Good line for when I do my live shot.
Well, not a lot of advancement in the last 60 years. Almost 70.
No, that's Singapore, right?
That's Singapore.
Oh yeah, my bad. I had a DTD moment.
I've had that salad before in Singapore.
Khalil. Hey Khalil, are you gonna be able to get your boom in there a little bit, or there are 2 mics behind the flowers? Okay.
Your crack can be up about that salad.
Okay. If you guys are monitoring,
It's getting me hungry over here. I'm staring at this freaking salad for a half hour.
behind the flowers, and we have an audio technician who's monitoring that. And if those mics fail, we have Khalil's boom mic.
Put
So
a little
it's not going
sausage
to,
on it and
shutter noise that we have.
a nice roll.
Other sprays.
Do you eat sausage on your salad?
I'm just kidding.
Forget the sausage. I want some bacon bits.
You got the right crowd here, that's for sure.
I like over easy eggs on my salad.
I like all kinds. Cobb salad, I like.
So just wanted to show y'all this before they start. It does look like this is the conference table that was once used by Singapore's Chief Justice. Will be used in the signing right now.
Oh, could you tell DPRK press that we would give everyone 2 minutes of warning, but until that, they should not expect anyone to just pop in. They can relax.
그렇죠. 예. 지금 나오시기 2분 전에 미리 경고를 드릴 테니까 그 전에는 나오지 않고 잠시 휴게 일어나는.
All I know is that we'll give you.
Yeah, I had found that earlier and dropped it, and I went back right now to grab it and look at it to compare it, and it sure looks like the same one.
Yeah, it does. I zoomed in on the picture. It does look like the same one. One could argue it looks like a different shade, but I think that's because of the darkness of the room.
Yeah, the lighting and stuff, but you look at the height and things like that, they're pretty much a match.
Yeah, I'd put money on it. Definitely an American pen. Asian pens are much smaller. Sorry. My apologies for the poor joke.
So that's Ant's son? Oh, wow.
I tend to make inappropriate jokes when I'm nervous.
I wonder if they're arguing over who's going to walk to the door first.
You open the door. You open the door. No, you open the door. Oh shit! Deal's off.
I don't think I would be surprised.
Who walks through the door first and last actually does mean a lot in Eastern countries.
All right, people. I gotta go pass out for a few hours.
I hope so. Me too. I'm gonna go soon, but I gotta see this. I've been staring at the salad for half an hour here.
I will definitely see you in the AM drive.
Nighthawk.
Good night, Hulk.
Night Hulk.
Yeah, this Singapore time is wreaking some havoc.
Wonder if that's on purpose.
Didn't they just have lunch? Why'd they have to have that big salad on the table for a signing?
I believe in multiple meals.
It's about to go down.
Get the pen! Get the pen! Get the pen! It looks like that pen, though. Look, it doesn't look like the one that our doc had. It looks like the one that Q put there, or the one we saw before. Doesn't have the bottom like shiny, right? Come on, camera guy, focus on the pen, man.
Yeah, I can't get a close up enough of it.
How about if they both open at the same time? That works, right?
Yeah, there's two big doors that can open them up and both walk through.
How's it going, trophy truck? I'm doing good, trophy truck. I've missed chatting it up with you.
North Queens have like 6 cameras. They have like... No, guys.
Don't push! Don't push! Don't push!
Guys, oh my lord.
I say Trump lets Kim come through the door first.
These guys just jumped in there.
They could have people hold the doors open and walk through at the same time.
Yeah, I just saw Sarah for the first time.
See the dude with the little tripod?
There's Hannity.
Thank you, Hemispheres. I'm really glad we got this new family over here. Oh, here we go. Both of them at the same time.
Me too, brother.
So we're signing a very important document,
Both at the same
a
time.
comprehensive document, and we've had a really great term together, a great relationship. I'll be giving a news conference at 2:30, which is in a little bit less than 2 hours, and we'll discuss this at great length. In the meantime, I believe that they'll be handing it out on behalf of Chairman Kim and myself, and we're both very honored to sign the document. Thank you.
우리가 매우 중요한 문서에 서명을 하게 될 것입니다. 이 문서는 굉장히 포괄적인 문서이고 오늘 굉장히 좋은 아주 훌륭한 회담을 가졌고 또 아주 좋은 관계를 구축하였습니다. 2시 반, 즉 다시 말해서 약 2시간 후에 나는 기자회견을 할 예정입니다. 거기서 좀 더 자세하게 말씀을 드리겠습니다만은 일단 그 와중에 그동안에는 발표문이 기자들에게 배포될 것으로 알고 있습니다. 감사합니다.
Would you like to say something to the press?
우리는 오늘 역사적인 이 만남에서 지난 과거를 덮고 새로운 출발을 알리는 그 역사적인 문건에 서명을 하게 됩니다.
Today, we had a historic meeting and decided to leave the past behind, and we are about to sign a historic document.
세상은 아마 중대한 변화를 보게 될 것입니다.
The world will see a major change.
오늘과 같은 이런 자리를 위해서 노력해 주신 트럼프 대통령께 사의를 표합니다.
I would like to express my gratitude to President Trump to make this meeting happen.
감사합니다.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Okay.
Mr. President, did he agree to denuclearize first?
We're starting that process very quickly, very, very quickly. Absolutely.
Mr. President, 100% denuclearization?
Did you talk about auto-warm beer, sir?
Mr. Pence, did you agree to give up your nuclear arms?
You'll be seeing everything in just a little while. The letter that we're signing is very comprehensive, and I think both sides are going to be very impressed with the result. A lot of goodwill went into this, a lot of work, a lot of preparation. I want to thank everybody on both sides, Secretary Pompeo and all of his counterparts. They were absolutely fantastic.
네, 조금 후에 우리가 서명한 발표문의 내용에 대해서 곧 알게 될 것입니다. 아까도 얘기했습니다마는 매우 포괄적인 그러한 문서이고 양측이 그 결과에 대해서 굉장히 만족할 만한 결과입니다. 이 문서를 서명하고 또 이러한 그 만남을 갖기 위해서 많은 사람들이 선의를 가지고 노력했고 또 많은 준비 작업이 있었습니다. 그 양측의 그러한 작업을 해주신 분들에 대해서 감사드립니다. 거기에는 폼페오 장관뿐만 아니라 조선 측의 그러한 여러 참여자분들에게 감사드립니다.
Thank you very much. It's fantastic. Thank you very much, everybody. We'll see you a little bit later. And we're very proud of what took place today. I think our whole relationship with North Korea and the Korean Peninsula is it's going to be a very much different situation than it has in the past. We both want to do something. We both are going to do something. And we have developed a very special bond. So people are going to be very impressed. People are going to be very happy. And we're going to take care of a very big and very dangerous problem for the world. And I want to thank Chairman Kim. Spent a lot of time together today, very intensive time. And I would actually say that it worked out for both of us far better than anybody could have expected. I think far better. I watched the various news reports, I would say far better than anybody even predicted. And this is going to lead to more and more and more. And it's an honor to be with you. Very great honor. Thank you. Thank you to all of your representatives very much.
오늘 둘 다 뭔가 이루어내려고 싶어하고 또 둘의 특별한 관계가 오늘 시작됐습니다. 그리고 우리는 아주 여러 가지 중요한 여러 가지 문제의 해결의 시작을 했다라고 말씀드릴 수가 있습니다. 김 위원장님께 감사드리고 또 내가 보기에는 오늘 만남이 그 누가 기대했던 것보다 또 그 누가 예측했던 것보다도 좋은 만남이고 좋은 결과로 이루어질 것 같습니다. 또 앞으로 더 많은 진척이 있을 것 같고 이렇게 만나게 된 것을 영광으로 생각합니다. 김 위원장님 감사합니다.
Thank you very much, everybody. Thank you.
Will you invite Chairman Kim to the White House?
Absolutely, I will.
Mr. Kim, would you like to come to Washington?
Thank you. Thank you, everybody.
Okay, so did they say at 2:30 they were going to have a press release of the signing? Is that what I heard?
Yeah, he said he was going to do a press conference.
Yeah, was it at 2:30 though? So like in 45 minutes?
Yeah, in about 45 minutes.
Okay, because I'm interested to see what those documents say. So we'll have to wait about 45 minutes.
That was amazing.
Did you see how much Kim was sweating under all those lights?
He really was, right?
You have to understand he's going to be judged by his people and by his military and by those that have power in his country.
I don't think he's going to wait around to be judged by his people. I think he's going to get the F out.
His people don't even know this is going on.
That mountain that collapsed there with all the nuclear scientists might have had a little nerve-wracking effect.
Good stuff.
Pelosi and Waters are trying to figure out how they can make money off him. That's what they think about the situation.
I'm sure there's going to be a lot of businesses that want to go invest.
Tomorrow morning, we're still here. Maxine Waters say,
Impeach 45! Impeach 45! Why? I don't know!
some things never change. You can't say nothing on him. They can't say nothing on Trump now. What could they say on Trump?
Oh, they'll find something. They'll try to spin it as in he gave away the farm or he's agreeing to things that put America at risk. They're going to spin it. Don't worry about it.
Oh, Tom Steyer, who's famous from the Podesta emails, already was saying that look how he's glorifying this maniacal tyrant who tortures his people.
Obama was dancing with Castro.
Hussein was the biggest piece of crap ever. If ever there was someone who deserves the rope, wow, if we actually get the day of the rope, that would be great. Speaking of which, who wants to invest in my rope company?
I put a little money in ankle bracelets today.
Actually, I brought that up once before, I think on another channel, and then they said, well, what if they use the same rope and they get hemp and they can reuse the rope? I was like, you're screwing up my business, dude.
I'd invest if it was soap on a rope. They'll need it for prison.
Lol.
He says lol.
Oh, it's hard to top this off. I don't know what Trump can do next. Really think about it.
Well, Q says Iran's next. I can't even imagine what is possible with Iran. But we'll see. We don't even really know what this deal is yet, do we?
No, but if say we get a Middle East peace, right? All right, as if we do that, and we do peace with Russia and China, what the hell is left? I mean,
well, you see, I'm not as hopeful as that. We're not fighting over land now, or we're not fighting with Russia over ideology, but we are fighting over markets, monetary systems and energy infrastructure and oil, etc. Those are a lot harder to. That's very hard to get a peace deal on. I mean, because that's not really about peace. That's about making business agreements. So, Russia and China, those are different kinds of deals. I think. I don't think it's like this deal where we're getting this guy who probably was born into a situation that he can't even handle, and giving him a way out.
I think we're going to have a breakthrough for energy that's going to make it extremely cheap, and oil is going to be out the window. And since, like you said, most of it is tied to oil, if that goes out the window, it's going to be a new paradigm.
Well, between the U.S. and Canada, we don't need any natural resources from anywhere else. It's just about digging them up, or drilling or whatever. So that's not really an issue anymore. At least in this country where Trump's in charge. I don't know about that lady that's running Canada. Castro's daughter.
But he could trade from Russia too. I mean, they have oil.
They have oil and natural gas, and they control Europe with it.
The pipeline's going to be real cheap for them.
Madar Doc, thanks for all your help as usual.
Yeah, I think I'm going to go to bed. Good night, everybody. Have a nice evening.
Oh, New Yorker, you quitter.
Dude, I got to drive in the city tomorrow. Believe it or not, I get up It's 7. It's 2 o'clock here. I'm not a quitter, man. Believe me. I just need 5 hours. Later, my man.
I don't want
Good
excuses. I
night.
want. Who knows, TN Wirehead, but even if the Rothschilds go, who's coming up to replace them? Another group of corrupt bankers? I mean, really, whoever's in charge, I'm not expecting them to be saints. Who else is up to talk? What are we talking about? There were a bunch of Q posts that I know I didn't see till tonight. So does anyone want to discuss that? What's going on?
I'm browsing through your Twitter at the moment, checking out some headlines.
Well, TN Wirehead, if you recall what one of Q's latest posts was regarding Iran, clearly Europe didn't care what was going on there. They just wanted to have the line open there for business. So that is pretty bad. Sean Brown, I may question some of the stuff you post, but that's pretty interesting.
I post some funnies. I'm never gonna miss a second to throw a knife in the back of Hog. I'll tell you that.
He deserves it. But let me tell you something. The other night, you guys didn't have to run away from me. I wasn't gonna. Well, I probably would have just asked you a few questions.
Oh, you're fine, mate. Fucking David Hogg, man. Wow, what a summit, man. It's great seeing Trump with Kim.
Whoever thought that Dennis Rodman would save the world?
Ambassador Rodman, man.
What the hell?
Ambassador Rodman with his potcoin.com t-shirt.
Watch. Actually, he's gonna get the official spot. I'm telling you guys.
And I love that he was rocking the MAGA hat on TV. Right in CNN's face.
Oh my god, no.
Hilarious.
You could put anybody in that picture and it's creepy. Oh, somebody needs to make that picture with him standing in front of himself like that.
I was going to say that I love Kim's gray pinstripes. Larry Kudlow is one of the last not left-wing voices left on CNBC. CNBC used to have a bunch of pro-America right-wing voices, and then in the middle of, certainly close to the beginning of Hussein's reign, they called everyone in and said, when did we become the anti-Obama channel? And then they just loaded it up with leftists. Not as bad as Bloomberg, because Bloomberg is basically just a communist channel. I mean, literally, they don't understand anyone ever questioning the state. Unless, of course, the state is being run by the Donald. Yeah, this guy is clearly scared, and I think he's in shock that he was let out of whatever situation he's in. I can't even imagine what's going on there and how this guy is not up to whatever position he was put in.
Where does he even go from here, really, though?
I think he's going to run away to some country that'll have him. That's my guess. I can't imagine if they actually free these people up that they're going to let him live.
That's good.
How high were Kim's lifts, by the way? Or, excuse me, un. Is Kudlow targeted? Interesting question. I find it interesting that Breitbart talked about how he's surprised that he didn't have a heart attack yet. Then he was killed by heart attack. Then you have Anthony Bourdain talking about that he's dead, and then he hangs himself. Was he also on a doorknob? I think we need to regulate doorknobs.
Yeah, I think we'd need to ban doorknobs and red scarves. That's a start. Hulk, I thought you were going to bed, Hulk.
He can't take it. There's no way he can go to bed right now. He's gotta know.
They're going to Disneyland together.
I love that he's got a soy latte in his hand. Effing little Castro.
Good night, Alice.
By the way, is there any doubt in anyone's mind that that is Castro's kid? There is zero doubt.
It's too close, man. It's too friggin' close.
And his mother was like a proud slut, like not even like hiding it. She was a proud slut. Her husband would be in Canada, screwing up that country. She was partying it up in Studio 64.
I like how Angela Merkel is trying to stare him down, and he's like looking off to the west of her, not even acknowledging her.
I gotta repost what I posted before to go in line with these.
Or, as I like to call her, Little Hitler.
As I'm partying with all the Rolling Stones related to Trudeau's mother or Castro's mother. Yeah, and she had some sort of statement how she would totally hook up with Castro. She was in love with him.
Hey, Hulk, I don't know if you caught it earlier, but he was alert and talking. So maybe he's in the clear for Kudrow. Kudlow. B, you're still hanging in there?
I'm here. Thanks for caring.
I saw you. I was like, wow, he's still hanging in there with us.
Who's here?
Be free. I just want to see what these documents entail, what they...
I love that meme I just reposted. I think it's hilarious.
Ooh, Krispy Kreme.
I actually had a couple of sick donuts the other day. I hadn't had donuts in I don't even know how long. I was at this 24-hour donut place with an ex-girlfriend after we had some fun. Were donuts invented in America? I don't know, but they're pretty freaking awesome.
I don't know, but Krispy Kreme's a bomb.com when it comes to donuts.
I think donuts are just an adaptation of a bagel. So I would say the Jews invented the donut.
There's a great Simpsons line where Trump brings donuts for breakfast. I remember he was working directly with Mr. Burns, and then Mr. Burns says, "I told you no ethnic foods."
Man, Singapore has a pretty cool little rail system.
Singapore's got a lot of cool stuff, and it's one of the places I'd like to go.
It's beautiful there.
Do they still beat people up for chewing gum there?
Well, they beat you up if you litter, that's for sure.
I think that might be the Universal theme park rail line. It's funny, the Asian media was talking about Trump's motorcade coming in the opposite direction, on the wrong side of the road.
Man in quotes, singing saint, exactly.
I'm feeling that.
That's from post 1459. Q calls it rr.ping, a PNG.
He's gone. Goner.
It looks like you sit there and take tons of screenshots like me.
What do you mean, Sean, by it being comprehensive?
Nah, I'm just messing around. It just man, they've been, these two know each other.
I was actually really impressed by the first back pat.
Oh, they've been touchy-feely. Yeah, they're very well acquainted.
As nervous and sweaty as he looked sitting there at that table, he was the first one to pat the other guy on the back.
I think Trump's presence makes him nervous because the pictures of him out and about last night, he did not look nervous. He looked cool, calm, collective, and relaxed. I think when he's around Trump, he just gets a nervous edge to him. And then Trump kind of pats him on the back like, "You're all right. It's all good."
Singapore's got money. I think they have air conditioning. They shouldn't be sweating.
Plus, he's a little beefy, so.
There you go. Plus, I think this guy is going through crap that we have no idea about. I think he's surrounded by military guys that are telling him how it's going to be, and he just follows along.
Yeah, you can definitely tell that he's told what to do all day long by the way he sits and waits for instruction on, like, even the folders, like handing them and taking another one. Like, waits for someone else to initiate the next move. He does that constantly.
Yeah, he seemed like he didn't really understand what was going on, and that he didn't know what he was supposed to say or what he was supposed to do.
Yeah, have y'all noticed how pushy his guys are, though? Like his security guys, they're aggressive. They're real pushy.
Or maybe they had some kung pao that was sticking with them. A la Costanza. Humidity is evil. That's why you must go to the Hamptons in the summer. You must.
Yeah, I feel bad for Kim's bodyguards that are out there in the suits and that heat and running
What is Kim's
alongside.
favorite Chinese dish? I think you meant cream, right?
No, I think that works pretty well though.
Yes, cream. That is hilarious. But Kim Jong-un is now rejecting his father. Seems like he's rejecting his father's legacy while Trudeau is going all in with his father's legacy. And I mean Castro by that. Although his supposed father, Trudeau, was pretty bad himself. Seriously, what a freaking cock. His wife was going all over the place, just openly just hooking up with everybody. Damn, dude. You ran one of the biggest countries on the planet. Act like a man. Come on. Get your woman in line. Damn, dude. That is sad. That is just sad. Gotta love him wearing that MAGA hat. Waiting for Cuomo to call him a racist. Does the Cuban guy not know anything about anything like one of my Russian friends telling me there's no such thing as a mafia? What kind of noises you making singing? You just laughing or you singing? Do they still arrest people for cocaine? I didn't even know that was still a thing.
She was getting off the plane and left her wallet under the chair, and it had a couple of packages of cocaine in the wallet.
Oh my god, she brought it on a plane. That's why she.
But that was years ago too. That's been going on for a while.
I see. So that wasn't like now. That was.
No, it is now. It just happened today, but it happened a couple of years ago.
That is crazy.
I spent some time with her a couple of years ago.
Did you? How did that go? Did you get any? She used to be pretty hot.
She tried and tried, man. She's something else.
Dude, she was hot. Was she still hot back then? I don't remember. When you were hanging out with her, was she still hot?
Yeah, it was about 10 years ago.
And you didn't do it, dude? You're a stronger man than me. What can I tell you?
Ooh,
were
being
working.
late night confessions.
Yeah, she looks terrible now.
Oh yeah, she is. I mean, she didn't just hit the wall; she smashed head on 100 miles per hour.
As a friend of mine would say, she hit the tree and hit at every ugly branch on the way down. So, Pakistan has received offer to denuclearize from the United States, and we are thinking about it with an open mind.
But do we trust they will all be for reals denuclearized, sassy and classy? I mean, I believe that Kim Jong-un wants out and is looking for a way out. I don't know about Pakistan. Just like I'm suspicious about Iran. I mean, they're. It seems to me like they need their nukes religiously. Not only religiously as in religious, although maybe a little of that too, but I don't know. Those seem to be harder than North Korea, unless again, this is just speculation on my part.
Yeah, Iran's going to be a A little bit tougher.
Yeah. I don't know if anyone's reading this Be Free post, but she's claiming that someone stole her wallet and planted coke in it. Yeah, sure. Good one. Because otherwise you wouldn't have had coke in your wallet. Oh man, how stupid could you be bringing drugs on a plane? Find a hookup wherever you're going. Really, it shouldn't be that hard. You're a movie star. Yeah, she looked good, dude.
Yeah, this was when we knew it's our 2007.
Yeah, she looked good. Israel's not going to give up their nukes, Sean Brown. I don't even know if they've officially admitted that they have nukes, even though everyone knows they do.
That's what I'm saying. That's the problem.
But, yeah, but see, that's not the. I'll tell you what the difference is, Sean. Iran every day says that their goal is to wipe Israel off the map. Israel doesn't say that their goal is to wipe everyone off the map. And there's a difference. They do say, listen, if you attack us, we're going to freaking destroy you.
Yeah, but the point is they still have an illegal nuclear weapons program. And I know Iran and North Korea will never, ever, ever give up their nukes until Israel agrees to do the same.
Well, I'll be very surprised if Israel ever agrees to that. Especially when they're surrounded by people who promise that their goal is to destroy them and or exterminate all the Jews, which is like Hezbollah attacks Jews all over the world, etc. That kind of thing.
I know, man, and it's never going to go away, and that's why I'm saying, it's good luck, you know what I mean?
That's one of the reasons why, I'm not saying it's impossible. I just think it's a harder deal to strike. But who knows? Trump has surprised us all, hasn't he?
I agree with you, man.
So here's a document that was signed. And look at Kim Jong-un's signature. It's like all over the page.
Damn, all us Trump supporting guys, I hope we all find Rose McGowan 10 years ago and not screwed up and crazy. We should all be deserving of such things. Wasn't there talk, Singing Saint, of Trump getting rid of the federal whatever against pot? I'm not pro pot, by the way, but I don't believe in politicians making rules just because they feel like it either. Rules, someone's getting paid. That's all I know. I mean, my understanding is that Sessions is very anti-pot, but that doesn't mean that that's what Trump's position is. It seems like even if Trump on a personal level is anti it, that he would stop the federal issues with it. Which is surprising because his history was not as a libertarian, but he seems to be going more and more libertarian, which is, as far as I'm concerned, the best thing that could ever happen. I know your legalization of hemp is going to screw up my rope futures scheme. That hemp is going to last for too many hangings.
Larry's saying the conference could be at 4, but it's only 2:30.
Pope on a rope. Love it. Love it. Look, I don't know much about Catholicism, but this Pope, man. It seems to me, from my observation, most of these Catholics are, what the hell is with this guy? Didn't he do something where he was getting rid of the leaders of the Knights of Malta? Because it was their job to actually take him out because he didn't fit? Yeah. Our doc knew all about that. If he was here, he could clue us in on all the specifics.
Yeah, let's get that Pope on a rope as soon as possible.
A rope for every commie. That's what I always say. Actually.
Absolutely. Rope that Masonic hidden hand commie immediately.
Oh no, I don't think I have Sassy muted. Let me see. Sassy, you know what? I think when you were talking, I wasn't hearing you. Let me see if I have you muted. I don't know how I would have done that. I'll check that out. I apologize. I don't have her muted. But I can restart and we'll see if that works. Say something, Sassy. Let me see if you're muted still.
Can you hear me?
Yes, finally, that beautiful voice.
Were you not hearing me a minute ago when I was talking?
I didn't hear you. I saw that you were lit up, but I didn't hear anything, so I thought that maybe you weren't talking and it was just an accident or something like that.
Okay, and see, and I thought maybe there was a delay on your end. That's why I was just like, and it kept happening. I was like, well.
I apologize for that. I say it's part of the conspiracy to screw us up. That's why I was having internet trouble before. No doubt I'll have the helicopters flying overhead again tonight. That actually has happened, by the way. Wasn't Trump supposed to start a nuclear war? Isn't that why we all voted for him? What the hell? Exactly, Sean. He betrayed us all with all his world peace and such. So there's Trump making peace. What was Hussein doing during his time? Oh yeah, funding the Nazi-aligned Muslim Brotherhood and making sure that Iran can do whatever they want with hundreds of billions of dollars. Yeah, exactly. Whatever lettuce that is, it's anti-communist lettuce. That's what I say. Or aren't all vegetables part of the communist conspiracy? So should we read it?
It's definitely readable, brother.
Ew, if y'all can zoom in, go for it.
Joint statement of President Donald J. Trump of the United States of America and Chairman Kim Jong-un of the Democratic People's Republic of Korea at the Singapore Summit. President Donald J. Trump of the United States of America and Chairman Kim Jong-un of the State Affairs Commission of the Democratic People's Republic of Korea. See, that's interesting. He's signing it as of the State Affairs Commission of the Democratic People's Republic of Korea. I wonder if that means anything. Held a first historic summit in Singapore on June 12th, 2018. President Trump and Chairman Kim Jong-un conducted a comprehensive, in-depth, and sincere exchange of opinions on the issues related to the establishment of the new U.S. DPRK. Can't read that word.
Relation
And the building of a lasting and robust peace regime on the Korean Peninsula. President Trump committed to provide security guarantees to the DPRK, and Chairman Kim Jong-un reaffirmed his firm and unwavering commitment to complete denuclearization, is that what that says? Of the Korea Peninsula. Well, that's pretty important. Convinced that the establishment of new U.S. DPRK relations will contribute to the peace and prosperity of the Korean Peninsula and of the world, and recognizing that mutual confidence building can promote the denuclearization of the Korean Peninsula, President Trump and Chairman Kim Jong-un state the following. The United States and DPRK commit to establish new U.S. DPRK relations in accordance with the desire of the peoples of the two countries for peace and prosperity. 2, the United States and the DPRK will join their efforts to build a lasting and stable peace regime on the Korean Peninsula. 3, reaffirming the April 27th, 2018. Can't read that. Can anyone?
Yeah, it looks like it might be your best something declaration. Go ahead, bro.
The DPRK commits to work toward complete denuclearization of the Korean Peninsula. The United States and the DPRK commit to recovering PAL MIA remains, including the something repatriation of those already identified. Having acknowledged that the U.S. DPRK, not sure, maybe summit, the first in history, was an epochal event of great significance. This paragraph seems to be hard for me to read. In
overcoming decades of tensions and hostilities between the two countries, and for opening up a new future. President Trump and Chairman Kim Jong-un commit to implement the stipulations in this joint statement fully and expeditiously. The United States and the DPRK commit to hold following negotiations led by the U.S. Secretary of State Mike Pompeo and relevant high-level DPRK official in the earliest possible date to implement the outcomes of the U.S. DPRK summit. Help you out a little bit there, brother. Read that last one.
Okay. Donald J. Trump of the United States of America and Chairman Kim Jong-un of the State Affairs Commission of the Democratic People's Republic of Korea have committed to cooperate for the development of DPRK relations and for the promotion of peace, prosperity, and security of the Korean Peninsula and of the world. Donald J. Trump, Kim Jong-un, June 12, 2018, Sentosa Island, Singapore. Wow, that seems pretty significant.
Yes, sir. Yeah, some of those words were tough, bro.
And it sounds like they've united to one.
I'm seeing that too. I feel that. There's definitely some language in there, right, that alludes to that.
Oh yeah, most definitely.
So it's calling him chairman of the state of affairs. Is that different than his previous title when he's the president of North Korea? Is he like stepping down into a different role?
That's interesting. So you think he's taking on a different role there?
That doesn't sound like a presidential or upper leadership role.
Well, if it's combined to one, then they can't have two presidents, so they're going to have new roles, new names.
So that's like his opportunity for exit right there.
Or it could be that that the structure of the government there is not what we're used to, and thus we do not understand exactly what the name of his position is. So, chairman of the State Affairs Commission could be exactly what we originally thought it was, which is the highest position in the government.
Did it say something about? Did I hear something about a meeting as soon as possible? I bet Pompeo's already set something up with them.
Yeah, so it looks like that last little kind of tough paragraph to read on there, it's a little blurry, describes exactly that. Like, this is a joint, basically this is a joint peace declaration, just kind of the first stone cast, if you will. And then at the bottom there, it says, hey, we're following up as quick as possible in the fullest extent and expeditiously, I think is the word they use. So yeah, you're absolutely right there.
Watch. I bet that's already been set up too. Watch in the next couple of weeks what happens.
Yeah, you know it. That's the deal, right, Sassy?
Oh yeah. This was just to get the ball rolling for the show. Everything else is, this stuff's already been handled.
Yeah, they're not going to let some little stupid disagreement get in the way of peace. The main things have already been put in place, and now it's probably just about doing business and which companies are going to be going back and forth, making money on it.
The Dems are losing their freaking mind that he treated Kim better than Trudeau.
Oh, do you remember when Obama, they wouldn't even greet Obama at the tarmac? Do y'all remember that?
Oh yeah, they didn't give him a carpet. They didn't give him anything. They treated him like garbage. With Trump, full red carpet, full ceremony, right?
They gave him a birthday cake. No, DPRK has become one. So chairman, I guess, would be the highest rank for a United Nation, maybe. Is that a cue just now?
No, that's an old post about how Pelosi was making money setting up arms deals with North Korea.
Oh, I see. April 19th. Sorry.
Heard an interesting comment a minute ago, right before Trump they done the signing. They were discussing the possibilities of an agreement that might come up. And one of the commentators said that any agreement that Trump makes would have to be in line with what NATO wanted, because the reason they went to war with North Korea was because of NATO. And I was thinking in the back of my mind what he done at the G7. I think he's done with Europe and our allies in Europe.
Oh, he's given them the your number one finger.
Think about all the Q posts when he first started on North Korea. And it gets me to thinking that maybe North Korea hasn't reunited with South Korea because they knew South Korea was controlled by the EU, the United Nations. And he did not want the corruption inside his country. I guess through the banking systems.
I think the relevant quote there is, leaders of EU only care about protecting flow of money, not the safety and security of their people/world. And that's where we get to politicians everywhere.
It's all about the money for them.
Indeed. I wonder what that Hussein secret authorization to convert USD is specifically referring to. Is it referring to the pallets of cash? Or is it referring to something else? Is it referring to the US dollar in general?
Well, we know about the pallets on the plane. So maybe the secret authorization, it says to convert. So maybe that's something different.
Zero, there was some transactions with U.S. banks that got approved. They were talking about it earlier today. I have no sauce for you, buddy.
Oh, that's right. On that step that Icelandic was talking about, right, Sean?
You got it.
Yeah, that was back from what, 2016, I think, was it?
Yeah, and you know what? There's emails too. Someone posted some emails that like line up right with it, and they agreed to never speak again.
Yeah, I remember. That sounds familiar. Not familiar today, but from whatever knowledge I have about this, is that yeah, there were some things that were going on with the banks that were approved ahead of time to make things move smoothly. Yeah, but I guess I'd have to go back and see if I can find some postings on here from Icelandic, or see if someone else has that information. Yeah, that sounds interesting. Hey, when you want to steal hundreds of billions of dollars, it's not easy. You gotta set everything up, right? Can't just
No, you bet. That's a dirty dog right there.
What everyone has to understand is that it's not just the Iran deal. It's all this garbage when we're sending money to the government, what they do with it. This just happens to be so blatant that's like right in our faces.
Well, no, it's the tariffs that they've been putting on us, the unfair trade they've been putting on us. And we've been paying for their army for the last, 70 years?
Yeah, no, the tariffs on the various deals that we've been making overseas is definitely one of the problems, and I think that's one of the great things that Trump is correcting. And hopefully we have leaders that have our best interests at heart. But it's up to us to make sure that we have those leaders, and that we're on top of our leaders, that they're not making deals that totally screw us over. Have a great night, Singing Saint. You don't have to apologize to your roommates for me, but if you do get in trouble, then I apologize to you for making you laugh so much.
Hey, Sean, is this it?
Nighty night.
I think this is the documents right here. 0.
I'm looking at it. I can't confirm. I didn't see that one, Sassy, but I just remember the conversation specifically happening. But you're probably right over the target.
Yeah, there was so much going on this afternoon. I heard the conversation and I was digging on some other stuff. I was listening and digging.
So Sassy, did you read that whole entire explanation that about the world's banking system?
No, I have not.
Well, I mean, listen, it's not that a lot of the facts don't seem to be correct or believable to me. I always start to get questionable when, there's secret societies, but everyone seems to know exactly what's going on in those supposed secret societies. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? But so that's when it starts to lose me, and then my eyes start to glaze over, and I go, I don't know. I don't know what he knows and what he doesn't know. You know? I don't know. That was, I'm not trying. That has nothing to do with you personally. I'm just, I was reading it, and it seems to put everything into a nice little tidy box. I don't know how tidy all that is. Meaning, all of a sudden one day the Rothschilds just all of a sudden we're controlling all the world's banks. Skull and Bones and the Masons, as if they're the same thing. I don't know if they are. Skull and Bones actually being an order of the Masons. I mean, I just never heard that before, but who knows?
Right. Hey, Tennessee, what is this that you dropped?
It's a good video. You might want to go watch. I mean, it may help you on some things that you're asking about the other video. The Intel report, I think, is what it was. The GM's New Republic GSR.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'll check it out here in a little bit.
That's an interesting question that this Sean Young asks. Is the House of Rothschild the big cheese in the move to a New World Order, or are they but a front for something much bigger. I've always wondered how what were essentially court Jews given access to banking, all of a sudden, they're the ones that run the whole entire world. Is it possible? Yes. But would the people in charge have let that happen and let themselves be taken over? I don't know. Later.
Yeah, so I don't know if y'all heard it towards the end of the signing. I heard somebody asking some questions really loud. Turns out to be it was that CNN reporter hollering at Kim Jong Un saying, "Are you going to give up your nukes?" Jim Acosta.
I mean, listen, on video, we're sitting here watching, maybe Jim Acosta, is so blind, but Kim Jong-un looked like a deer in the headlights. Why is he asking him as if he's not looking at the same guy I was looking at? He didn't even look like he understood what was going on. Is he giving up his nukes? I don't even think he has the power to make that decision. But whatever he signed seemed to suggest that they are.
Night Shine.
I got to step away for a bit. I'll be back.